Hello everyone, my name is Archie Carter and welcome to a new series on this channel called The Good, The Bad and The Chelsea. So just going to quickly go through what this series is, and after each Chelsea game this season I'm going to be making a video like this where I'll basically be going through two good things and two bad things about the match, and then just giving my overall thoughts of Chelsea's performance at the end of the video as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. So today's video is obviously focused on Chelsea's 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace. It's obviously our first game of the season, but let's start off with some positivity, even though the performance in general wasn't that positive. The first good point, which is that Josh Achapong shined in Levi Colwill's central centre-back role. Now, obviously, Levi Colwill getting injured is a massive negative for us. It's a huge loss for us, especially as it's an ACL injury. He'll be out for most of the season. So losing him is far from ideal, to be honest, especially as he's so integral to the way we play. And we know that Maresca's been calling out for a centre-back now that can replace Colwill's ability on the ball and those kind of line-breaking passes that we're so used to with Levi Colwill. But in the Crystal Palace game, he opted for Josh Achapong in that role that Levi Colwill occupies. Josh, although there was some blips where he gave the ball away at times, and maybe he wasn't as daring with his passes as Levi would be. Overall, I thought it was a great game from Josh. I think he slotted into that role very, very well. As I said, there needs to be improvement across the course of the season if he wants to cement a place in that role. The fact of the matter is, he kept quiet one of the most physical strikers in the Premier League in Mateta, to the point where Mateta was getting very frustrated in not being able to make an impact on the game. Not only that, a lot of the time he was very calm and cool and collected, and just on the ball he's just light years ahead of his age. He plays like he's been playing professional football for the past 10 years. He's that calm on the ball. And as I said, he did give the ball away a couple of times. But overall, I thought it was a great performance. And look, if we can't sign a centre-back this summer, then the best option would just to be to keep giving Josh those minutes and let him grow into that role. Because I think he could probably be as good as Levi Colwill by the end of the season if we give him enough minutes to improve in that role. So the next good point is Esteval was a bright spark for us in attack when he came on. The attack was a very big negative against Crystal Palace for me, but I'm going to get into that in a bit later, and we're going to start off with some positivity. Jamie Gittins, he struggled and he came off for Esteval, rightfully so. It was the right change from Maresca, and as soon as Esteval came on, the mood just shifted in the stadium and in the game in total. He was just so electric when he came on. He just gave us that extra bright spark that we needed in attack. And unfortunately, he couldn't get a goal or an assist. There was a good chance for him to get an assist where Pedro Neto couldn't control the header or couldn't direct the header into the goal. And then obviously he had a good chance to score himself, which he probably should have taken more time with. The first signs with Esteval are so good. And honestly, he's only 18 years of age, but I can see him making a case to be a starter very, very soon. Should he start against West Ham? I know a lot of fans want him to start against West Ham, but look, as I said, he's still only 18 years of age. We don't want to put him under so much media spotlight straight away. So I'd say play Pedro Neto against West Ham, do what we did against Palace, and bring Esteval on for either Gittins or Neto later on in the game. But look, he was fantastic against Crystal Palace, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's in a starting role by the end of the season. So on to the first bad point now, and look, I don't really like throwing new signings under the bus in their first game, but Jamie Gittins, he wasn't that great against Crystal Palace. Look, it was his Premier League debut, and having a Premier League debut against a team like Crystal Palace, probably one of the best set-up teams in the league defensively, then it's going to be difficult. You know, you're not going to face many low blocks like Palace this season, but he just struggled to get into the game. You could see he was trying his best to try and get into the game, but he didn't really have the intelligence to do some problem solving and try and find a way past the Palace defenders. He barely offered us anything this game, and it's a shame because I've been a huge advocate of Jamie Gittins as a signing, but it's clear that he's got a lot of potential, but he's still a very raw player. And we need to give him time and patience. So probably adding somebody else on the left-hand side of the attack is the best option, so the burden doesn't fall all on him this season, similar to how it was with Nicholas Jackson when we didn't really have any competition for him in attack. I do feel a bit sorry for Jamie Gittins that this was a very, very tough Premier League debut, but I wanted to see more from him, and I was disappointed that I didn't see more from him. But as I said, we need to give him time, we need to give him patience, and I'm sure he will start to come good for us. And the last bad point is that Cole Palmer needs to step up in these kind of games. I think Cole Palmer is one of the best players in the world, like without a doubt. On his day, he's one of the best players in the world. But the problem is, if he wants to get onto the level of the elite players in the world, like I'm talking like the Messis, the Salahs, the Haalands, then he needs to step up more in these kind of games, and he needs to have consistent world-class performances. Because his performance against Palace, I got some major deja vu from last season. Last season, we had so many games like this where Palmer was just so quiet and couldn't find a way into the game. Look, I know Palace are a tough team to break down, but if you look at someone like Mohamed Salah or Erling Haaland, they're the kind of players that produce that bit of magic, or produce a goal, or produce a fantastic cross. Palmer couldn't do that against Crystal Palace, and we've seen it be a regular occurrence now. And I don't want it to be a regular occurrence this season. I just hope that he can improve on that aspect and give us more consistent magical moments that we know he's capable of. Right now, that performance like we had against Crystal Palace, I don't want to see more of that from Palmer this season, because that was honestly atrocious. That's probably one of the worst games I've seen Palmer have in a Chelsea shirt. So to finish off the video, I'll just go through my overall thoughts on the game, and it was a very, very disappointing performance. I expected a lot more. Yes, Crystal Palace are a great team. I hate it when people say, oh, but Liverpool didn't beat Palace, or Arsenal didn't beat Palace, or City didn't beat Palace. If you want to challenge for league titles, I'm not expecting us to win a league title, but if you want to challenge for league titles, you've got to separate yourself from those kind of teams. Like, you've got to say, okay, they didn't beat Palace, we've got to beat Palace. I don't think a lot of people understand what being in a title race means, is that you've not got to just be on the level of those teams. You've got to be at a higher level. You've got to try and occupy at a higher level than those teams. It's games like this which show whether you're title contenders or not. And it's only the first game of the season, so yes, you've got to give it time. And I'm hoping to see a massive improvement against West Ham. But you've got to win these kind of games if you want to be title contenders. And we didn't win that game against Crystal Palace, and we struggled. We struggled massively. Only 2 shots on target. To me, it's just that the team weren't creating enough chances, anything more than half chances, and that was really frustrating for me, because I know how good this team is, and I know that we have world-class players, or players to be potentially world-class players. Honestly, that West Ham game can't come soon enough, because those players need to reinstall some belief in me that we can at least challenge for the title this season, because I know a lot of people are saying it's going to be another top 4 race this season. I don't want to see another top 4 race this season. We're capable of being title challengers. We are capable of that. It's just that some fans don't have belief in us to do that. And maybe that's going on the players right now. But anyway, it's too early on in the season to kind of make those assumptions that maybe the players don't have belief that we can be title contenders. Because actually, you know what? They do have belief we can be title contenders, judging by what they've been saying in interviews. And it seemed like a lot of the players were really frustrated with that game against Crystal Palace. I'm happy that we're not coming away from it saying, you know, oh, at least we got a point. I'm happy that the players are actually very frustrated by it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the first instalment of The Good, The Bad and the Chelsea. This is going to be a regular video coming out after each Chelsea match. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments of this video. Let me know what you guys think I can do to improve these videos to make it more watchable for you guys, or if you think it's just great how it is, then let me know. That's always great as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.